Hey, what's up? Good evening, everybody. This is Deavin and Tiffany.
The Rosses.
The Rosses. We back at you again. I think the last time we was like Friday, I think. So we want to stay consistent with what we talk about, what we share, what we believe. So I'm do my timer again. I know the last time I said 5 minutes, we went a little overboard. So we're going to keep it like 10, 12 minutes or so to keep it kind of short and sweet. So first of all, we just want to thank everybody for supporting the book. For those who have purchased the book already, we appreciate it. We thank you for the support. We thank you for the love. Awesome. Yeah, we definitely thank you. A lot of people have been hitting us up on Facebook. They've been, if you buy a copy, please respond on Facebook to say you bought a copy. And when we want you to read the book, and also to put your reviews, put your comments, tell me what you think about the book. Like I said, we believe that this is a powerful book. I really believe that God had really given me the insight, the revelation on to write this book. I mean, I would really say that God has, not just within the last 6 months of me writing the book, but I would say God has prepared me even in the first time around. This book was on the inside of me. So please get the book. You guys see the link on my Facebook. So subscribe and get you a copy of this book. So we just want to share a couple things with you guys, a couple topics we're going to talk about this on this time around. So I just want to, this is something that, you know, it doesn't frustrate me, but I look at these things and say, you know, we put out footage, we want people to support, you know, and get the book and read the book. But we live in a time now where we can share so much other stuff on social media. Like if it was a fight or if it was somebody being silly or somebody just doing some mess, we're quick to like these things and share these things. We're quick to continue to share just stuff that makes no sense on social media. But we live in a world nowadays where stuff that's relevant that we need to talk about, like marriages and different things like that, a lot of times we don't share those type of things. We don't talk about those things. But when it comes to sharing some mess, sometimes people are quick to share those type of things. So we definitely want you guys to get the book, share the book, share what you experienced about it. And we definitely want you guys to purchase the book. So we thank everybody once again that has purchased the book, and we appreciate your support. Another thing we want to talk about with the book is there are hurting marriages out there. And I would say definitely that's our heart. And you know, the title of it is Love the Second Time Around. But we're not just talking about the second time around it only applies to. And I said that in the first meeting. It's not just the second time around, but it's the first time around also too. So let me reiterate that this is for people that are currently married, because in current marriages, you still have issues. You still have problems. I mean, that's what leads people to making decisions of when marriages fall apart. And we want to stop the bleeding on that. So we just don't want this to just be for people that are single and thinking about getting married, or divorced and one day they want to get remarried. But this is also too for married couples. I mean, this definitely talks about a lot of things on how to, the do's and the don'ts, and how to even maintain it. Just like I said, if you're have to get maintenance on the car, it gives you some indications at first. Like when your oil change need, it'll let you know. When you go to Jiffy Lube or something like that, they'll put like the next time you need an oil change. So we see the signs in our marriages that say, hey, we need to address this. We need to get to the root of this. We need to fireproof this, or we need to keep doing this. I mean, that's why even the book that Gary Chapman wrote, 5 Love Languages, those are keys to continue to, those are tools to make your marriage better. And that's what we're about. We're about making marriages better. But we also like to talk about people because this is the elephant in the room. And I just want to talk about people that are like, say, like if it is, so nowadays when we're going into churches, we're seeing that it's blended families now. I've talked to people that I was like, I asked somebody, I was like, how long have your parents been married? And they were like, wow, my parents been married for like 30 years, but this is my mom's second marriage, or this is my dad's second marriage. I'm like, wow, so I would have never thought that. So this is an issue that's in our world, in our culture nowadays. People are blended. Some marriages didn't work out. Things happen. So what do we do to people that are probably went through a bad divorce, and now someday they want to pursue marriage again. Someday they feel that, hey, I want to be married again. What do we tell those people? Where is the ministry out there for those type of people that are hurting, or because sometimes nowadays, even now, when it's their second time around, we come with packages. That means that we have other children now. So that means that if somebody got divorced, say like I was divorced and she was divorced, and other people get divorced and now they have kids. So what happens when they look to get married again and they have kids? How do you face those issues by saying, hey, whoever, if I reconnect with, or if I'm sure to say, if I was to get remarried again, will this person accept me for having kids? So there's ministry out there for that. There's a need out there for it. We have kids that they didn't ask to be in a situation they're in. But what happens when that man or that woman comes along the side, and we call it stepkids or something like that? How do we deal with that? So this is a big issue that we have in our world today. And this is the things that I really believe that God called us to tackle and talk about. Because a lot of times people don't really talk about that. There's no ministry really out there that's going to minister to people that have been hurt the first time. So that's one of our biggest things that we want to talk about. We definitely want to we definitely want you guys to support the book, because we talk about a lot of that in this book. In one of our chapters, we talk about families uniting, and how did that work once you for the second time around when it's kids involved. How do you love when you have stepchildren and different things like that? How do you have to tell your children, because it's hard when people get divorced, and when there's kids, it is tough on kids. It's very tough on kids, and those are things that we struggle with, that we deal with even now. But we continue to have to tackle these issues, because a lot of that stuff stems to the decisions that the parents make. So the kids look like sometimes that they're paying for decisions that maybe they think it's their fault. So that's one thing that God has given us wisdom. We believe revelation about that type of stuff. So just like God is called to be father to the fatherless. So I really believe that's the mantle that God has given us to do so. But these are issues that's in the church. These not just in the church, but in the world. So people are dealing with blended families, second marriages, third marriages, and we definitely want to minister to people that do stuff like that.
To piggyback on that, a lot of people, just like we said, this book really is for everyone. This is not just necessarily marriages. What I was telling my hubby here was that, marriage really is just another form of a relationship. Every relationship we have is a relationship, whether that's a relationship with a mother, a sister, a brother, or relationship, like you said, blended families. There are people who have also had children outside of marriage. That's still a relationship, and then that is something that you may have to deal with, a significant other that you may have had a child with. And then, like you said, what if you get married now, but now you still have a child, right, from a previous relationship? These are things we want to talk about and address. These are such, like you said, could kind of be like taboos in the church. When we talk about being remarried or divorced, or people having children out of wedlock, it all still stems from, these are relationships, and just like we're in relationship with God, God loves us no matter what. We all have fallen short. So this is not something we just want to ignore. These are things that we want to talk about and tackle, and to give people the tools to be successful in these relationships, because ultimately what it comes down to is that communication, and that's what we're doing. We're communicating, we're talking about these things, bringing these things to the forefront, and not, like you said, some children may feel like, hey, I didn't ask to be brought into this, but hey, we got to communicate, and we have to talk about these things to work through them.
And just like even my apostle always talks about, just getting to the root of the issue. When Jesus did a lot of things, he got to the root of the issue. And a lot of times we need to get to the root of the issue and stop, sweeping things under the rug, or just thinking that it's going to go away. And one thing about it, even with the second time around, we definitely need to base our marriages, first time, second time. You definitely, as a man, and I'm speaking to this when I speak to men, it is your duty as a man to cover your home in prayer, cover your children in prayer. You need to tell your children you love them all the time. You need to cover them. I mean, boys, girls, they need to hear that their fathers love them. The kids need to hear their fathers praying. Not just, and I know we live in a culture nowadays where it's mostly the women that are mostly doing this. And hats off to women that are single, that a father's not around. But if there's a father in the house and the wife is more of the spiritual authority, that's out of order. And just how, according to the word of God, I mean, I don't want to get into scriptures or anything, but the man, he needs to be taking that mantle. He needs to be covered. My kids need to see me praying. My kids need to see when something's going on. They need to see that I can cover them in prayer, that we're going to tackle it in prayer, because that's the way we need to train up our children. And that starts with men. That starts with men, the authority in the house, doing those things. So we definitely it's definitely so much stuff in this book that just talks about that. It talks about building that foundation in your marriage with prayer. And I just want to say, we commend people that are married, that are still married. It blesses me when I hear somebody and I ask them how long they've been married, and they say, we've been married for 50, 60 years. Man, that is commendable. I don't get condemned by that no more. It encourages me to know that God is a God of second chance. But I love to hear that somebody's marriage they've been married for 50 years, 40 years, 35 years to the same person. That is commendable. I think that's honorable. And just my heart goes out to people that are married, that want their covenant to work. But we do live in a world where covenants were broken. People want a second chance. People get condemned thinking that it's all over for me. So our goal is to tell people it's not. And God is a God of restoration. He can restore you. He can restore the things that were broken. He can bring you that spouse the second time around also too. But like I say, it's a lot of things that we want to talk about. Like I said, we don't want to be with you guys for long, but because we're gonna be giving you guys a lot of stuff. But it's just so much stuff to talk about. But we just want to thank everybody who got the book, who shared it on Facebook, who really believes in us. And we know it's a lot of people out there. But so we encourage people, you see that link on our Facebook page, click on the link. It's only $13. $13 is not a lot of money. Some of us say that money that you're going to go to McDonald's and buy that. That's what, like 2,000 calories right there. You don't even need them calories. Get the book. So we just want to thank everybody there for their support. We thank our church family, our personal friends. And so we get the book, click on the link, share the link. Also, to share the link. We want you guys, because it may be people that's in your Facebook friends or your social media friends that you know that they going through some hell in their marriage, or they got a divorce, or they've been divorced for a long time and they want to get remarried, and you know they probably going out clubbing or whatever. This is a tool. I call it. I've been signing people books saying that this is a compass right here. This is a compass. So definitely share it. Definitely share it. We'll share other things, that be messy or something like that, or some other funny stuff I like funny stuff too, but this is important. So we like it and share it, people. So that's all we pretty much have for right now. It's so much stuff. I don't want to keep you guys long, but like I say, we appreciate the support. We love those. We love people out there, and we love marriage. We all for marriage, whether it's the first time, second time, but we've been called to. We just really been called. We have a heart for marriage. We really have a heart for marriage, and I have a heart for men taking the lead, taking the authority, taking that mantle of prayer in your home, rebuilding your homes, man, covering your house with prayer, and that's definitely what I'm about. So praise God, and that's pretty much it. What I have for you guys for right now. So we're gonna try to do this every other couple of days. Bombard these phones and bombard social media with us. So that's all we have for you. You have anything?
I do. Just one last thing. I'm sure some of you have seen on Facebook that book club members. So if you all know anyone, or if you yourself are part of a book club, we're doing a little promotion where your book club can win up to 10 books, 10 free books, and they will become signed and autographed, and Deavin will make an appearance. So we're just asking for you to email us why you feel your book club should win and why you all would like the book for your book club. So this is, for those avid readers, this will be an awesome book, I believe, to have for your club. So please don't forget to share that. Also, if churches that you belong to, any other organizations, just spread the word. We're just really asking for you to spread the word, because we really believe and we know that this is something from God that is going to truly bring healing, bless, restoration. There's just so many things that we truly believe will happen when you read this book.
Amen.
So,
and,
all right.
And real quick. So moving forward, what we're going to start doing, we're going to start going through each chapter in the book, breaking down, talking about things in each one of the chapters. So you got to stay tuned, because for those who don't have the book, it's going to be some good stuff. And people that already have the book, they're going to know what we're talking about. So we already got tons of good reviews on the book. So definitely support it, get it, like it, pay for it. It's only $13. And we appreciate it. And you guys have a blessed evening. Take care.
Bye-bye.